welcome to my kitchen. I'm Lisa Boson and I live in northern Colorado, and it is April. It's the first week of April and we kind of think it's spring, but not quite. We're kind of thinking it's winter because it's going to snow next week, but we're also getting very anxious about getting our gardens in the ground and getting excited about the farmers markets. So I'm going to do kind of a fusion lunch today. This is part of the Dinner on the Front Range series, and so I'm going to make a little bit of winter, a little bit of spring salad, and yes, if you've seen my other videos and are reading my cookbook, I do use saffron, so we're going to use that. This is a throwback to the grapefruit salad of eons ago, but we're going to put a little twist on it. We're going to use, obviously, a grapefruit and an avocado. But we're also going to use about 4 strands of saffron. We're going to be using some honey from my girls out back. They did really well. They made it through the winter. Some spicy greens from EP Greens. There's lots of greens, microgreen growers here in northern Colorado, so I'm going to try to feature them as much as I can. This batch is from EP Greens, as well as using this, you know, I love headed lettuce, beautiful dark green lettuce, so we're going to be using maybe 1 or 2 of these. It'll be falling apart just a little bit, so hang with me. We're going to make this really super simple grapefruit, avocado, microgreen, saffron, honey salad. So to get us started, first thing I did is to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 saffron pistils, I think is what they're called, and just letting them hang out in some warm water for a little bit while we show you this technique. Love grapefruit. I'm from Texas. We had ruby red grapefruits. Florida has their pink red versions. And so yeah, you can just peel it. What I've noticed with grapefruits now, they have a much thicker peel now, but what I want to do with this is we're just going to show you how to section a grapefruit. This is a technique you can use for an orange. You can use it for a lemon if you wanted to, but all we're going to do is first we're going to cut off the end, find out how thick, look how thick that thing is. Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, so we'll cut out the ends like this. Okay, set those over in the garbage bucket there. And then this thing's going to get super small, but anyway, we're just going to take our knife, find the edge of the pith, and then just go down the pith like that. Okay, and so yeah, your knife kind of needs to be super sharp. I'm using a chef's knife for this. Yeah, we'll have to clean it up a little bit, not a big deal. I think the important thing about this is that your knife is super sharp. So again, I'm not a home chef. I mean, I'm not a chef, I'm a home chef. You learn these techniques when you go to classes and so forth. But yeah, I'm gonna go a little bit slower than I normally do because I would like to at least have this be reasonably look good for the video. But yeah, so then I'm just gonna take off more pith, and then at the end I'm going to show you what you can do with grapefruit this time of year. I make my own cleansing facial cleanser with it. So now that you have them all off, you can go with your paring knife, your super sharp little paring knife. Just clean it up a little bit. And you might say, why do I want to do this if I can just go to the store and buy it? Yeah, you can go and buy sections, but they're not super fresh. And yeah, you don't really get to feel what's happening with that grapefruit. So the nice thing about this grapefruit, you can see all the sections. Okay, I'll tell you, the smell of citrus is just heavenly. All right, here's the really beautiful one. This is going to exactly show you what to do. Down the side, down the side. Oh, that's just gorgeous. Down the side. Clean it up a little bit. I might use the second. This is the video. Beautiful. Out. Come on, baby. There you go. So when you're a home chef, you don't have someone sitting there doing 25 of these. You have to kind of learn it, and then as you do it, you get better. Okay, my second son was a chef, went to chef school, and he told me how many times he had to sit there and do nothing but learn how to prepare a potato correctly. We don't have that luxury, but we can get pretty darn close with it with home cooking, right? Here we go. Oh, lovely. It's coming much better. Look how easy that is. That one had a little bit. Whoops. Okay, there's that. Gonna get rid of that. It's kind of a tiny one. I tell you what, just because it's a big grapefruit doesn't mean you're going to get big sections. That's kind of what's happening. My favorite juice is grapefruit juice. I'm just chatting away because I don't know which part of this video I'm going to be keeping, but definitely the pieces that are coming out a little easier. You know, don't get frustrated if it's not perfect. Again, this is about just enjoying the experience and just trying some new flavors together. That's what this dish is about. All right, so we're going to squeeze. Not too bad. Got some seeds and stuff happening in there, but that's okay. Well, we can weed those out. Not a problem. I think the important thing on this activity is you have a super sharp. These are like the cheapest paring knives I get on Amazon, but I've used these for, well, decades. But they're really the best. So we're going to put all that over there, and we're going to play with that later. All right, so there's 5 million ways on how to do a grapefruit, I mean, an avocado. Let me just do this. Open it up. That one doesn't look too bad. It might need a little cleaning up. Again, there's a million ways. This is just how I do it. Scoop it out. Probably because I want to make sure it looks okay too. Sometimes they can be a little gnarly. And then for this one, I'm just going to turn the knife around, and I think I'm just going to leave it in nice sections because this is going to be kind of a sort of decomposed salad. So I'm going to leave like that. That's going to be my half. I'm going to leave this for my husband later. I'm so lazy. We're just going to strain it like that. Oh, I'm going to say roughly about a quarter cup. We don't want a whole lot. We're kind of actually just making a glaze. Crazy, huh? Making a glaze. I'm just going to put in my saffron water. Oh my gosh, I love saffron. It's just so earthy. I love to put it on. Make it in soups, just sip on the broth, saffron broth. It's just really great. And I know it's expensive, but my favorite place that's here in Fort Collins to buy it is at Home Goods, actually. And then they also have it at the Indian Market, Turmeric. I think they have it at the Olive Tree Mediterranean Market. So I'm sure they're much better brands there, and it depends on where you get them. You know that saffron comes from the crocus, and it's very labor intensive to harvest. So I'm putting in, I think about 2 teaspoons of honey. So we've got honey, grapefruit, and saffron. I'm sure you're going, that is like the weirdest combination ever. And I read cookbooks all the time. So I kind of took 2 ideas and put them together. And then, of course, the saffron was like, oh yeah, I'll do that. Saffron's good. All right, so I'm just going to crank it up here. Hopefully this will come to a glaze. I'm going to put just a smidge of sea salt in it. Smidge is the operative word. This is kind of like a power boil. And so we can bring it up to super high heat. It's kind of like having a gas cooktop and you can just crank it up on high. Well, this is kind of the same thing. And what I want to do is reduce it down until it's a little sticky. I don't want it like sticky gooey, or then when it hits the cold grapefruit it becomes a candy. That's not what I want. We really just want just a glaze. We're gonna, because the grapefruit will keep putting out some juice. So let's see what I got going on here. Thicking up a little bit, starting to kind of lazy around the bowl a little bit. This is about 5 minutes into the process. So this is a technique. You're learning how to kind of pull together, make a warm sauce. You're just seeing how, you know, your sauce is kind of coming together when you can see these streaks. Let me see if I can get a little closer. There we go. Streak, streak. So getting a little bit. Yeah. I'm going to do one more taste. You don't have to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm just going to take some of these beautiful better ones that I'm going to pretend like I have a friend coming over for lunch, and I'm just going to kind of squeeze them just a little bit, because I already have, they're going to have some juice anyway. I'm going to take the prettier ones. That's not too bad. Just going to press it just a little bit. Yes, I know I have a lot of equipment. You can certainly just put these in your hand. We don't have to get all crazy here with equipment. And we could just kind of do this, you know, just kind of very gently, be very kind to the little grapefruit. Here's my sauce. It looks beautiful. And I did go ahead and put some almonds in it. I just thought that would be a nice compliment. So I'm just going to kind of glaze these a little bit with a little honey saffron glaze. I'm feeling like I could just eat those by themselves. Snuck a piece and they were really good. Okay, so I have this little plate, and this is what we're going to use to plate. So I love this beautiful dark green lettuce. And I've told you in my other videos, sometimes when it's beautiful like this, I just don't feel like piecing it up. I just really enjoying looking at how absolutely fantastically beautiful while my grapefruit is cooling. And this may not be perfect because I'm going to be really honest, I'm kind of winging this, but we're going to just make a little pretty, try to do a fan. There's probably a video on how to do that better. You know, what things look like in their natural state. So we have our warm grapefruit with little chunks of they're little chunks of grapefruit. And now I'm being really particular. You don't have to be this particular. I'm just kind of being particular. Just kind of sprinkling on some broccoli sprouts. Actually, is what these are. So get your cruciferous in. And then I think salty briny is good. So I'm just going to kind of throw in 3 olives. So I have to do my plug-in for my favorite Healthy Harvest Greek Kalamata olives from Boulder. They're slightly fermented, so they're not just brined in salt and vinegar and voila, there you have some olives. There's actually a fermentation process that goes with it. So I really appreciate that. They're my favorite. I usually don't need more than a couple. And just to enhance a dish a little bit. And so then we're just going to, I'm going to put a few little olives on there. The sauce is really good. And so what it does is it kind of counterbalances a lot of the tartness that is in the, grapefruit. So it softens it quite a bit. Now you might want to put some olive oil on it. That's cool. And yes, you'll have to eat this with a fork and a knife. This is not a baby green salad. So I think the way to eat this is you grab yourself a little bit of the avocado, you grab yourself a little bit of the lettuce, get a little crunchy lettuce. I'm not really an European style eater, but I'm going to give it my best shot here and throw in a piece of avocado, and whoops, that's not going to work. There we go. That's really good. Get a little bit of everything in one bite. Joining me today, I hope you enjoyed learning how to blend some different flavors, some saffron and some honey and some grapefruit, and learned how to section a grapefruit. That's a great technique that you'll be able to use for any citrus. I think this salad would pair well with the coconut Thai soup that I have out on the video, as well as if you wanted to go a little more Middle Eastern, there's a chickpea berbera soup out there as well. So either of those I think would make a nice complement to this lunch so that you can have dinner on the front range. If you enjoyed this video, be sure and click and subscribe so that you'll get the next videos coming up. I'm doing more of them as well. And don't forget about my upcoming book, Food Elevated. I'll put a picture because I forgot to put it in my hand. So thanks for joining me. Subscribe. Stay tuned for the cookbook coming out in May.